Now, we had John Lynch on in the first hour, and we read your tweets on Friday that you called teams behind the Bears to find who was the team that was calling the 49ers to offer to come up to the second overall pick, that the Bears, when they came to knock on the door, were told there's somebody there. You could not find this team?
I couldn't, and I know that there's reports that there is one, but nobody's acknowledging it to me. I didn't see it, and nobody admitted it. I mean, Cleveland, I'd reported on, I think Wednesday night, that they were looking to move 12 down, which ended up being correct.
Instead of 12 up?
12 up. Like everybody was talking, they were going to go 12 up. I reported they were going 12 down, which they ended up doing. But I couldn't find a team. And look, John Ross went at 10, and I think Marvin Lewis came out clearly and said nobody was calling us for the pick. So,
well, the way that John Lynch told the story, it was Ryan Pace, who he's known because of his time in the booth with Fox. You heard him, right? And just for those who may not have heard, say that Ryan Pace called him up saying, I'm here and there's lots of talk. Right. Give us the chance to match. And so you're saying, based on what you're hearing,
it sounded to me like
chance to match with
Mike McDermott. I mean, you just basically KGB'd him. I mean, it was one of those where you just said, look, I admire the 49ers for what they did. I think they were blessed in this sense, Rich, that and I heard him say we would have picked Reuben Foster at 3, and I tweeted this out about 2 weeks ago that Foster was sliding, more medical than it was the character. The medical was a concern, and that's why he went all the way down to 31. There's some real team issues in terms of teams have with his shoulder, whether he can actually going to play. Does he need another operation on his rotator cuff or his torn labrum? There's 2 issues going on with his shoulder that teams weren't comfortable with. So I think the 49ers got really fortunate when they said, we would have picked Reuben Foster at 3. Hold on, time out. If you would have done that might have been a real mistake.
And when John Lynch, I brought up the fact that, all 4 of us on the NFL Network said Thursday night, David Shaw and Daniel Jeremiah and Mike Mayock, when this happened, I asked them before we heard it was Trubisky, that did the 49ers ask the Bears and have to learn from the Bears who they were picking before they agreed to do this trade? All 3 of them said absolutely. Lynch said that wasn't the case. And as his evidence said, we asked, they didn't tell us. Heck, they didn't even tell their coach till an hour before the pick. Is that, that's what everyone's talking about with John Fox.
That's a little strange. But this I will say, when I was doing it, we were doing the first round from the Ringer, the price they paid was a price attached to a quarterback. Like, that's not a price for
2
Solomon.
3s and a 4?
That's not a price attached to Solomon Thomas, to move up to grab Solomon Thomas. That wasn't that
so
price.
So that's when you
saw the price, it had to be the quarterback. There was no doubt.
What are the Bears thinking?
That's the interesting thing. I think the Bears are saying to themselves, look, we're going to put a lot of asset and a lot of money into quarterback. We're going to get this right eventually, whether it's Glennon. Say Glennon comes in and plays really well, and they trade Glennon because Trubisky's a good player. Or say they just go with Trubisky, and all of a sudden there's Glennon. I don't know how it all plays. See, what people don't understand about the NFL, it's a mathematical problem. So you only have so many reps to give a quarterback. Mike Glennon needs all the reps. Mitchell Trubisky needs all the reps plus 10. Okay, so how does this work at practice? Like, how are you going to get 2 quarterbacks ready? You can't get 2 quarterbacks ready. It's the John Madden line. When you have 2 of something, you have nothing. And I think that's where I was a little concerned. If they would have paid Glennon $4 or $5 million, no issues on my part. Okay, but they went all in on Glennon. They put all the chips in the middle of the table, saying this is our guy. Now they draft Trubisky. How do they work those reps? John Fox is a huge problem to try to figure out how this is all going to solve itself. Trubisky, because he's only had 13 starts, because he hasn't had a lot of seasoned ability, how is he going to get enough reps this summer to really feel like his career is developing? He's going to have to get a lot of after-practice reps. I think it's a challenge, and it looks good on paper. You have 2 guys at quarterback, but can you develop 2 players? Glennon needs to be developed as well.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.